Welcome back, Hearts of SCI family. Today we're going to be talking about how someone paralyzed goes to the restroom.
This and intimacy is probably the #1 most frequent question we get asked.
So we have done a bunch of short videos on this on our TikTok and all of our other socials, but we're going to use YouTube to go into more depth and do a longer video and not gatekeep anything from you guys.
So after someone sustains a spinal cord injury, 99% of us lose the ability to use the restroom on our own, which requires using suppositories and catheters now to empty our systems. Even if someone is a walking paraplegic or a walking quadriplegic, usually you don't get the function of being able to use the restroom again. Majority of this will relate to everyone with a spinal cord injury, but if it doesn't, it pertains to me. The catheter set I use is a Coloplast SpeediCath Flex set. It comes in a very discreet packaging, and yeah, so this is what it looks like, and then once you open it, comes out like this. So this is a catheter. This is a catheter tube. It's covered by a sleeve, and then inside of the sleeve is a catheter. And that is what inserts into your bladder. Like I said, I don't have the ability to release my bladder anymore by myself. So I required a catheter, and I have to insert this every 4 to 5 hours. This bag on the bottom, it basically catches the pee. Not every catheter comes with this. Some are just a tube, and you have to have a catch container or an extender to go into the restroom. I personally like having the bag because it eliminates having to carry extra tubes and stuff like that around.
Or finding the bathroom.
Yeah, or finding the bathroom. I can cath in my truck, I can cath anywhere. So there's a lot of freedom, I feel like, when you have a catheter bag. But not everyone can get a catheter bag. You have to have UTI problems and stuff like that in order to get one through insurance. So back to using the catheter. Like I said, I use this every 4 to 5 hours, and it's single use. So I insert it one time, pull it out, throw this whole thing away. Another 4 to 5 hours comes around, I insert it again, and then I throw that one away. So these catheters are not meant to be used over and over again. It's a one-time use, throw it away. This tube is 16 inches long, but I cannot feel anything at all. I am a complete spinal cord injury, which means I have no feeling below where I damaged my spinal cord, which means I cannot feel this at all. Although some people I do know do have feeling because they're incomplete injury, and every time they have to cath, they can feel it. So to you guys that are incomplete injuries and have to shove this in you, my heart goes out to you.
To clarify also, there's tons of different catheter options, and there are some that will be indwelling where you can leave them in. That's a Foley catheter, and people can leave those in for like up to a month and then change it out after that month, put a new one in. And those ones, you have a bag connected to you at all times, and you just have to keep draining the bag once it fills up with the pee.
Depending on your level of injury, higher level injuries like quadriplegics tend to go with indwelling because they don't have as good as hand movement as someone who is a paraplegic. So they either go suprapubic catheters, which go through, like, they make a hole in your stomach and they go straight to your bladder, or there's a Foley that goes through your urethra where you pee at, and there's a balloon that fills up in your bladder and it just stays there. There is quadriplegics that do use intermittent catheters, and there is paraplegics that use indwelling catheters. It all depends on your preference. So that's how someone paralyzed goes pee. Now let's go to how does someone paralyzed take a crap. So in order for someone to have a bowel movement, one thing is definitely required, and that's a suppository. But I recommend using 3 things, which is a glove, suppository, and lube.
Nah, do it barehanded.
So for me personally, there's 1,000 different types of suppositories out there. I use the magic bullets. I was recommended to use an enema too, but I didn't really have good luck with the enema. I only tried it once, and it gives me a hard time that I haven't gave it a second try.
Because so many people, so it takes Nevin about an hour and a half to go to the restroom in the morning, and people have said that they've used these ones, and it cuts their bathroom time down to like 30 minutes. So I was like, babe, you should try this, like, try using it. He tried it once, and he was like, I don't like it, never tried it again.
Because I had to do it, and then I had to put a suppository in after, and I was like, well.
I think he was just having a bad bowel program day though.
I'll have to try it again. But anyways guys, I use the magic bullet to go to the restroom. So in order for someone paralyzed to use the restroom, they're going to need a suppository or enema. For me personally, since I use a suppository, all I do is pop one of these things open. It's a little bullet. It's super small. I don't know what it's made out of, but it basically, this is what it is. It's tiny. But basically the way I do a bowel movement is I put a glove on, I grab my suppository, I grab lube, I put lube on my finger, I rub the lube all around the suppository, I rub it all around my index finger, and then I have a special bowel chair that has a right hand cutout, and so I stick my right hand underneath my bum, pop this in where the sun doesn't shine, and I go about an inch in, and I hold it in my butt for about 30 seconds to a minute until I don't feel it anymore, or until my body soaks it up. And basically the way a suppository works is it dissolves into like your muscle and it releases your muscle, and that allows stool to pass down. So it takes about 25 minutes for the suppository to like fully soak into your body and for you to actually start going. Once the suppository has soaked into your body, your muscle will release, you'll start going, and then once you start going and you think you're done, the way you check to see if you're done, you put lube on your finger again, and then you put your finger in your rectum. That's a funny word. And then you do something called digital stim. Okay, it's not this big a movement. It's like, you know, little movements with your finger that go around and around. And basically what you're doing is trying to stimulate your body to push out more. And your body will continue to go, or it'll tell you that it's done. The way you know that you're done is you'll start getting clean pulls. The thing you're supposed to go by is if you have 3 clean pulls, which means you go up there, do digital stim, don't feel nothing.
Don't see anything.
Don't see anything on your finger because it comes out clear. Take off a glove, then you do another glove, take it off again, do another glove, take it off again. You will tell if your body has to go more. If like, it's just, you can tell. Once you do a bowel program 100 times, you can tell when you're done. If you have hard stool, you'll have to put your finger up there and like help guide it down. Or if you have a sticky one, you gotta help guide it down. Bowel program is the most disgusting thing I have ever done in my life. But it's part of the injury, and well, if you don't want to wear a diaper and you don't want to shit yourself every day, you gotta do it. And so for me personally, I do my bowel program every morning, but other people can do it in the afternoon, nighttime, whatever works for them. For me personally, I do it in the morning because we're young. If we want to go out on, you know, a dinner date or go to a concert, I don't want to have to worry about going back home, going back to the hotel room, you know, early because I have to go to the restroom. If I just wake up early, I do my bowel program, I'm done for the day. This does suck because if we're going on a vacation, I'm holding the suppository, it's melted in my hand. So you hold it. I missed. This does suck doing the bowel program in the morning when you want to go on an early trip somewhere.
For example, we're going on a flight this Wednesday and it leaves at 7:10 a.m. So normally you have to get to the airport at least an hour ahead of time, so that brings us to 6 o'clock. It's going to take like 30 minutes to get to the airport, so that's 5:30. So we're going to have to wake up at like 3 in the morning so he can do his bowel program.
And again, bowel program doesn't hurt for me because I don't have feeling. Other people that do have feeling because they're incomplete injuries, I'm sure bowel program doesn't feel the greatest for them. I do bowel program every day. Some people can do a bowel program every other day. I'm too scared to try that. I feel like my body would crap.
Another option for bowel movements is some people have colostomy bags, which is a bag that catches your poop.
And that's attached to your body. You have like a stoma.
It's attached to you. It's another surgery. It's another point of possibly getting an infection. So Nevin, personally, I know that's something that he doesn't want. And he doesn't need it because he has full hand function. And even if he didn't have full hand function, usually like quadriplegics will have someone that helps them with bowel program, a caregiver, a family member, or someone just willing to help.
So that's how someone paralyzed uses a restroom. Living with a spinal cord injury, this is probably one of the most annoying things that I have to deal with. Not being able to control your bowels or when you have to pee is one of the suckiest things because you gotta watch what you eat, what you drink, and yeah, basically all day I'm worrying about, am I gonna shit myself? Which obviously sucks. No one has to worry about that when they're 20 years old.
Well, sometimes I might.
Well, some people, actually. Majority of people don't have to worry about it.
If I drink coffee.
Yeah. Before my injury, I didn't have to worry about it, so it's like, yeah. Now when we go on vacation, I have to worry about packing extra clothes. If we're going to San Diego for the day, I'm like, I better do a good bowel program because we're going to be 2 hours away, and if I shit myself, that's going to end our trip. Planning a week-long vacation, well, what if you get a stomach bug before you go on vacation? It's one of the hardest things to worry about when you're paralyzed. But once you get your bowel program down, once you get your bladder down, these kind of things don't, you don't have accidents every day. But it is something that you will deal with, and that's just part of the injury.
So those are the basics on how someone paralyzed uses the restroom. If you guys have more questions or anything that you're curious about, drop it down in the comments and we'd be happy to try and answer those for you guys. But hopefully that explained the basics of how someone paralyzed uses the restroom. Alright, love you guys. Bye.
So that's how someone paralyzed. So that's how someone paralyzed pees. Now let's talk about how someone paralyzes.
Babe. Okay, pause.
So that's how someone paralyzes. So that's how someone paralyzed. Paralyzed, that sounds weird, not too good.
So that's how someone paralyzed goes to a rest.
Yeah, shut up. Talk all that back. You can't even say anything.